So, if the news I heard on Tuesday wasn't enough, it turns out that there was something I was looking forward to doing this year, and it got canceled. For those of you who don't know, last year I went to adult prom at Abandoned Brewing Company. And for those of you who didn't see that video I made following it, I felt like it was like my second chance to actually have a decent prom, because my senior prom, well, for me, it sucked. It did. So after going to adult prom last year, as well as checking it off my 2025 bucket list, I knew I was going to add it to my 2026 bucket list if they were going to have it. And they were, but yesterday I found out it just got canceled. Granted, I didn't buy my ticket yet, but to be honest, I was kind of stuck between doing that and something else I was invited to, which I guess the one silver lining is I can do the thing I was invited to. But needless to say, my heart really sank upon hearing that adult prom was canceled. Thankfully, though, that's all there is for my low. You know, yesterday wound up being pretty great overall. And you know what? Considering the news I heard on Tuesday, I needed some good things to happen. Oh, actually, considering the news on Tuesday and the fact that adult prom was canceled, I need at least two good things to go my way. And they did. Before I get into that, good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. Everything I just mentioned before that was my love. Adult prom getting canceled, like that. Hearing adult prom getting canceled, that's my love, if you couldn't piece that together. My high were the not one but two things that happened yesterday. And before I get into what they are, I get to my act of kindness, and my act of kindness was I helped someone out with a really big task yesterday. And it felt good to do that. So, what two things happened yesterday? Well, listen, the title of the video already gave away what it is. But the first thing I want to mention is the Knicks won! The Knicks won! Let's go! Let's go! New York Knicks! New York Knicks! Okay, here we go. Okay. Hello, my name is Nick, and I am rooting for the Knicks. The greatest comeback in NBA Finals history, according to some. And the Knicks are now up 3-1. Now, this is great, but only one time in history has a team ever been down 3-1 in the NBA Finals and they lost. And that was the year the Cleveland Cavaliers finally won and LeBron James got the title that he promised to the city of Cleveland. Okay. So, I'm happy the Knicks are up 3-1. And as of right now, my prediction for the Knicks to win in 5 is still on schedule. But, man, they got to go back to San Antonio. It's going to be... this is where I could definitely see why Knicks could win in 6, if not 5. I just hope the Knicks don't get a comfortable lead, though. Don't get too comfortable, guys. You're there. You're, right there. One more game, and the deed's done. And you guys will bring the first championship back to the city of New York since... the Giants in 2011. So, or 2012. So, yes. Oh, it was 2011 season, but they won the Super Bowl in 2012. That's when the season ended. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to differentiate like what specifically counts as a sports year in football when like it starts near the latter half and then end in the beginning. It starts in the latter half of a year and ends in the very beginning of the next year. You know what I mean? But yes, all that matters is the Knicks won. We are all happy with that. Now, in terms of the other thing that happened yesterday, for those of you who don't know, Patton Oswalt is one of my all-time favorite comedians. You know, much like a lot of the people that I come to be entertained by and respect their opinions of. You know, Patton Oswalt to me was, you know, some guy. In fact, for me personally, and yes, of course this, and because it's me, you know it would be true, I didn't learn who Patton Oswalt was until I saw the Pixar movie Ratatouille. By the way, it's pronounced Ratatouille. The Tui has to be, you have to say the Tui part like it's one syllable. That is the proper way to say it. Anyway, so, and Ratatouille, phenomenal movie. And Patton Oswalt, you know, as time has gone on, has proven that it's one of his greatest performances ever. And Patton Oswalt's been in other shows and movies too. Like he was Professor Dementor in Kim Possible. He's been in movies like Balls of Fury. And he's been on shows like The King of Queens. And he is like a shining example of what a fanboy really should be. Like, seriously, his encyclopedic knowledge of like movies and comics and superheroes is vast. Like, this is someone like, if you're a fanboy, you bow in respect to this man. And if he has something to say, even if he is a comedian, therefore it's probably going to be funny, you should probably take heed of it. Just my word of advice. So, I've been a fan of his stand-up for a good long while. You know, Finest Hour, We All Scream, My Weakness is Strong. I think that was another one he did. But on YouTube, literally yesterday, this just premiered on YouTube yesterday, in association with 800-Pound Gorilla Comedy, I think is what it is. Sorry, I need to look it up. Well, TLDR, Patton Oswalt has a new special on Netflix. It's called Tea and Scotch. And it was, I mean, listen, just like I do with every single one of these videos, whenever I talk about a stand-up special about a comedian that I like, all comedy, all senses of humor are subjective. Just because I find something funny, it's very possible maybe you don't find that funny, and vice versa. That's okay. You know, that's how it is. I mean, you know, there are some people that, you know, for example, love the movie Tommy Boy. I think Tommy Boy is a terrible movie. Quotable, but still a very terrible movie. Does that make me think less of the people who like that movie? No. That's just my opinion. And, I mean, listen, if you've ever watched Patton Oswalt's comedy, then you know what you're in for. And, once again, he was true to form. Actually, let me just check one thing. Right, I was going to... Yes, it was 800-Pound Gorilla. Okay. That's a YouTube channel where a lot of the comedy specials on. Let's see. I have some notes here. Here we go. So, um, I mean, the special started off with the fact that, I mean, for those of you who don't know, a few years ago, Patton Oswalt's wife had sadly passed away. He eventually remarried. And, well, actually, he had his daughter with his first wife, and then his daughter's name is Alice, and his wife's name is now Meredith Schler, I think, who was Natty Gann. So yes, Remy from Ratatouille married Natty Gann. It's actually pretty cool. And seriously, like, look up the interview with Patton Oswalt. I think it was on either it was Conan O'Brien or I think it was on Conan O'Brien, where he got like Andy Serkis, who was Smeagol, to be the Golem, to be the ring bearer. He had the ceremony take place in Jim Henson's studios. Like, seriously, I think Patton Oswalt just might have like the greatest Disney wedding in human history, even though Golem was Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings is Warner Brothers, but still, like, seriously, it's probably the greatest Disney wedding ever. You need to look it up on YouTube if you haven't. But, you know, Patton Oswalt talks about, you know, his life, his opinions on things. And recently, I mean, the special starts off with his daughter calling him dude. And, you know, I couldn't help but laugh because now Patton Oswalt explained, like, listen, Patton Oswalt's daughter Alice is a teenager. Like, the time where she has to call him daddy, that's long gone. You know, for me personally, I think I was about 10 years old when I stopped referring to my dad as daddy and just called him dad. And as I've gotten older, I've been calling him old man. But that's me. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that, yes, I was once upon a time in a phase where I did refer to my dad, or even sometimes my mom, as dude. Listen, we've all been, well, I'm sure not everyone watching this is old enough yet, but listen, you're going to go through a phase where you're going to do some things that really are kind of cringe by today's standards. There's no shame in that. We've all done it. If anything, it gives you an opportunity to see how far you've come and grow and develop and move on in life. So, yes, I couldn't help but laugh. Literally, like, after that joke, I knew, I mean, listen, I had high hopes going in for sure. But after that joke, I'm like, okay, things are going to get good. I know they are. He talked about owning a cat, and how, like, cats are adorable, but they're also kind of terrifying at the same time. I had cats growing up. I wouldn't say they had, like, the terrifying demon thing that he says in the special, but yes, some of that definitely rang true. He talked about how he would watch, first he'd watch dishwasher plate stacking videos, and then he'd watch hoof cleaning videos, and then he'd watch house cleaning videos, and then he moves on to what he says is final form, yard cleaning videos. And he'll be like scrolling at like 2 a.m. and I mean, I wouldn't say I've done, you know what, here's the thing. I wouldn't say I watch how, I'm actually like halfway there. Seriously, like, I don't know why, but I find hoof cleaning videos fascinating. I don't know why, but I do. I skipped the whole dishwasher plate stacking thing. I skipped that part. I just went immediately into hoof cleaning. I don't know why. I guess it's sort of like if you watch hoof cleaning, it's kind of like a pseudo pimple popping thing, if you know what you're looking for, I guess. he talked about how, like, when you think about it, house cleaning and yard cleaning, dishwasher, those are things that he did when he was a kid growing up, household chores and such. And now he's an adult. And he's watching videos of people doing just those things. It's actually really funny when you think about it. He talked about how listen, every comedian has at least several religious jokes that are on the funny but true type. So he did mention a joke about, Jews. He did talk a little bit about Muslims. And when he got to the Catholics, I'm like, I'm Catholic, so I could laugh at them. So I'm Catholic, so I absolutely could laugh at the Catholic part. He talked about how, he had a show in Montclair, New Jersey, I think is what it was. And the Planners Company offered him a ride to the show in, like, the Peanut Mobile. But instead of opting for the Peanut Mobile, he just went, like, with a normal Uber driver. I dare not give away what it is. And then he ends it with something that, darn it, I can't. Oh, I want to say, like, he came up with, like, the perfect way to end this special. I want to give away what, I can't. I don't want to give it away. It was, like, this closer was, like, perfect. Like, yeah, you see that meme of a Homeland? It was perfect. Perfect. Everything down to the last minute deal. Like, that was what Patton Oswalt did for this special. I mean, listen, Patton Oswalt, on the very slim chance you're watching this, I'm a big fan of your work. I've been a big fan of your work for many years now. I wish you continued success. Still as funny now as you were when, you did We All Scream on Netflix, which is another really great special of his you should check out. Shout out to 800 Pound Gorilla too, because there's actually been like several comedians that I watch who have specials on YouTube via 800 Pound Gorilla, like Kelsey Cook. Kelsey Cook's Mark Your Territory and The Hustler, which shout out to Kelsey Cook, aka The Hustler. Yes, I refer to Kelsey Cook as The Hustler, and you need to watch The Hustler to know why. Listen, Patton Oswalt is one of those talented people where, if for whatever reason he's in a movie that's not very good, he will always be there to make it interesting. And when he's in a movie that's really, really great, like Ratatouille, for instance, or he played the coach in the movie Goat, point is, he makes a better movie awesome. And that's why listen, the man has a lot of fans for a reason. And I'm happy to say I'm one of them. So, Mr. Oswalt, a very slim chance you're watching this, congratulations on another great special that's on YouTube for everyone's viewing pleasure to watch if anyone wants to go see it. It was funny. It had me laughing hysterically. It had me grinning from ear to ear. And, listen, it's only been a couple of years since Patton Oswalt did We All Scream, but he still got it. It's Patton Oswalt. What do you expect? I can't wait to see whatever he does next, and I wish you continued success, Mr. Oswalt. And shout out to 800 Pound Gorilla for, showing the special on YouTube. Hope you like this video. If you like, start YouTube channel, follow social media. As always, I'm your homie. This video. Hope you guys watch everything. I believe wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And remember, everything is want to talk, change, we're here to let you know what's back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.